Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of the No ID podcast. This is season 8, ladies and gentlemen, where we're interviewing a comedian, a published author, creative, actor, writer, producer. I don't know how many hats this man has right now, but I came across them through a friend. I followed his Instagram and I became instantly hooked. He is a legend. He is a legend. Hey man, I gotta give people our flowers before while we here on this earth. You feel me? The one and only Ghetto Rache.
On.
Man, how you? Well, we was talking earlier off the camera, man. I just want to know, like, how did you come up with the name Ghettorauchi? I hope I pronounced that right.
You said it right. I got the shirt on too, just so people can see it. Ghettorauchi, spelled Ghettorauchi. Ghettorauchi rhymes with Liberace, except I ain't gay. Nothing against that, but I do wear a robe on stage, by the way. But the name Ghettorauchi, man. I came up with that name when I was coming out with my comedy special. But let me tell you the history about it behind that. I had a homeboy I was in the military with. We good friends, and anytime we were hanging out and we saw something crazy or ghetto, like we would say N-word Rache, nigger Rache. That's what we would say. So I knew I couldn't name my comedy special nigger Rache. So
Right.
I said, I'm gonna name it Ghettorauchi. And that's how I came up with the name Ghettorauchi. And then I decided to also call myself that Ghettorauchi on stage because my comedy is raw, unfiltered, truth serum type, and that represents Ghettorauchi. So that's how I came up with the name Ghettorauchi. It was by default because I didn't want to name my comedy special N-word Rache or nigger Rache. I didn't want to do that. So and then I didn't want to make white folks uncomfortable when they had to say it. So I said, because I know they would be like, in the word Rache, so that's why I named it that, man, and that's how I got it.
Definitely, man. So how long have you been doing comedy?
I'm glad you asked. August 24th of this month will make 8 years. It'll make 8 years.
And how did you get your start? Was it like, did you start when we started 8 years ago? So was that military time, or did you start after the military?
I started way after the military. Yeah, I started way after the military. I went to open mic at this place called the Second Wind. There was a bar in Carrboro, North Carolina. I never forget. I went on a Wednesday night, I believe. And the week before, I had went up to another mic just to see how it was, right? So the next week, I made my mind up I was going to go to that open mic. And that day, man, it was something that kept saying, like, pushing me to get to that stage. I didn't get no cold feet. I won't come up with no excuses. It was almost like I had a appointment I had to go to, and I had to be there, and that was the feeling. So I that whole day was just like, you going to this mic, you going to this mic. So I wrote down some jokes on a napkin that day, man, and I never forget that day. It was just unlike any other day I experienced. It was just something was just like making me go like, you got a destination to get to. So, like I said, I wrote some jokes on a napkin. I wrote like 5, 6 jokes, right? So I get there, man. I get there kind of. Oh, I guess I was the last comic to get there. Ain't nobody there but white folks, white people. That's it. I'm the only black person. I go last. So I get up on stage, Rome, and I'm telling these jokes, and then white folks looking at me like this, like, Negro, you better get us a laugh. I mean, I'm going joke after joke. I'm thinking this stuff supposed to be funny. Nobody's laughing. So I get to my last joke, right? And I say a little small prayer. I say, God, I'm going to say this joke. And if nobody don't laugh, I'm taking my black ass off the stage. I never do it again. Never tell nobody I tried. I said this real vulgar joke. And these 2 white boys I know to this day bust out laughing in the back. I looked up at God. I said, I found my audience. And I've been doing it ever since.
You prayed to God with a raunchy joke. All right.
I sure did. I sure did. I said, hey, I sure did, man, because I was like, people say I'm funny, and I'm getting up there thinking, when you do stand up for the first time, we're really mimicking and imitating what we think other comedians do. I know it was
Correct.
like that for me. Nobody tells you. You just say, "Hey, it's open mic, go try it." Nobody really talks to us before we go on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like really prep us. And I'm just going off what I thought they did on regular television. What I seen the famous people do. And man, I get up there, man. I'm talking. I mean, when I say quiet, it was quiet. It was almost like I was in court in some little small redneck town, and they just gonna decide my fate. They was not laughing. They were just looking at me. I mean, all of them, the comedians, everybody. They were just like this. I say a joke, stop. I say a joke, stop. I was like, you talking about uncomfortable? And I'm like, and I'm going through these jokes. I'm like, I know this funny because I said it in real life. I said, God, man, I said, look, hey, they don't laugh. Get the hell off this thing. I told that joke, man, and I was glad they laughed, man, because had they not laugh, I don't know if I'd still be doing stand up. But knowing me, I would have came back again anyway. But that laugh, I was hooked after that. I was like, I'm good. Go. I'm good.
I had a similar experience recently.
Oh, really?
Recently, and that's the joke I sent you in my in your DMs.
Yeah.
And it's more to it is the white rooms that I've been to. This is when I learned about universal jokes. The white rooms that I've been to, they will laugh, they will celebrate, they will do everything. Black people do not laugh. We gotta either insult you or make a noise. That's all we do.
Yeah.
To let you know that you're good. But I did a room one time it was an open mic, and I had on my Malcolm X hat, so I got the big X on. I had this fresh Muhammad Ali shirt I done bought from the mall. I'm walking up in there, and I should have researched this bar. It was called Bad Habits. I should have researched this thing before I even stepped foot in there. Get in there, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get 5 minutes. See another comedian go up there. I mean, he's firing off some of his best stuff. Nobody laughed. I get up there, start telling jokes. Nobody laughed. What pissed me off was I came out of it. Like I left. I didn't stay for no more nothing. I came out there, bitch, and the white lady came up to me and said, "You're so hilarious. You're so funny." But when I was walking through from the bar to the car, I just saw nothing but red MAGA hats. I was like, yeah, I done pissed off this crowd so bad.
Oh, wow.
I was like, Lord.
And that was a white crowd.
That was a white crowd. The black crowd, we got another open mic out here in Virginia Beach, Jam Cafe. Bro, Kevin Hart, Mike Epps can come up there and do a whole 4-hour special. You would not get no laughs. They're interested. You crack jokes, they cracking crab legs. That's what they doing. But when you sit down, they be like, man, you're funny. I'm like, bro, why you didn't laugh at my shit? God damn, I was dying up there for 5 minutes.
Yeah. And what's the name of this place?
This place, the black room was Jam Cafe.
And this is Virginia Beach.
This is Virginia Beach.
Okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind because I got family up that way, so I'm gonna keep that in mind. All in the tide water. I'm gonna keep that in mind if I go up there. I'm gonna tell them as soon as I hit the stage. Look, you gonna be cracking no crab legs while I'm telling these jokes. I sit beside your damn ass. We gonna do some laughing. We gonna do something. I'm damn if I'm gonna sit up here all day and y'all looking at me like I'm retarded. Hell no. We gonna do something. If I got to sit at the table with the mic in my hand, eat crab legs, tell jokes, that's what the hell we gonna do. Don't hell me come all the way up there and hurt my feelings. No. Black folks, let me tell you something. Black people will crush your spirit in a comedy room.
Sure will.
They will crush your spirit. They will make you go home, divorce your wife, find a new career. They will make you forget comedy. They will make you never, ever, ever decide to do that shit again. They will hurt your feelings, boy. I'm telling you. I've been in some black rooms, man, and I'm like, am I on trial? What did I do?
It was bad, man.
I told a dude one time, I said, bro, y'all ain't laughing. Shit, I had to literally make these people laugh for the show one time. It turned out to be good, but I had to improvise. Then one black guy said, well, "Man, you ain't that funny." I said, "Your mammy ain't that damn funny." Shit, and then that's how we got. That's how I got. I had to bring him to life, man. But it's true with black rooms too. But I also learned this from a veteran comedian. He said, "Your job to make them laugh. If they ain't laughing, you ain't doing something right." And I said, "Well, that's true, but you don't negate the fact that it's hard to make. It's hard in black rooms, shit. Like, but you know it that you know, but that comes with man. That comes with doing a lot of rooms too, man.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know now in year 8 what to do if I come across that. But honestly, you just have to. You can't give up. You can't run. You just got to dig in deep and find other creative ways to get these people to laugh. And then sometimes it just that's what happens with stand up comedy. It could be any room. It ain't got to be a black room. There's just sometimes, man,
Facts.
it just happens. Stand up is it's hard by nature, but comedy is also subjective too. So it's one of them things, man, that you have to deal with when you hit the stage every time. But I tell all comics, man, I say that's why it's important to continue to work your craft, have jokes, because you see these patch of jokes ain't working, then you go over here and pull these out. But like I said, the more you get on the stage and do this, you find different loopholes to navigate through to get the audience to laugh and stuff like that. That's when you know you really like what you're doing. No one likes to sit up there and they ain't laughing, but I figured it out. I said, shit, we're going to do something. We'll do something.
Yeah.
Something going to happen.
Something gonna happen.
Something going to happen,
I did bomb so bad one time at a black room, they turned the lights off on me, and that's when I started podcasting. It took a whole
Man, that's funny.
it took a
That's funny,
whole
man.
took
That's
a
funny.
whole month and a half for me to get back on the stage. And one of the comedians that was actually there, he jumped on my podcast and he was like, "Man, you need to get back out there. It happens." I was like, "Bro, that was a tough room."
It happens to the best, and everybody has experienced it, and you're going to experience it. And I liken it to sports. Every great athlete has had a bad game or games. Baseball. I'm going to use baseball, for example. I'm a big baseball fan. A pitcher can come out there one game and kill it. He might throw a no-hitter. Or he might just have a good game, several good games. But then he might come out there, man, and give up 3 home runs in the first inning. And before you know, when he leave, he got 3 men on the base. By the time they pull him, they down 6-0. And it happens. Or a hitter can go through an awful streak. He can't hit the ball. Just can't hit it. Same thing with a slugger in baseball. He may go homeless, might not hit no home runs for a long time. Basketball, football, same thing. Michael Jordan might be the greatest I ever seen, but he'll tell you he's had some bad.
Yep.
So when you're gonna, it's something like stand up, where a lot of it is about making people laugh. There's a lot of pressure on us to deliver these jokes in a way in a manner where we can get the people to laugh. You know this. There are certain jokes that we tell, we have to say it right.
Big
or
facts.
It's not gonna be funny. It's certain jokes I tell, I know if I don't say the word right or I miss a word, they ain't gonna get it. They're not gonna get it. So, it happens. But the thing about it, the more we do this, the more we get in front of people and tell jokes, the more we learn about ourselves and we learn about different things where we can get people on board to laugh with us. But I'm going to tell you one thing that works in a comedian's favor that will, I'm not going to say really prevent him from bombing, but kind of give him the benefit. Well, he got like a soft landing pad. He got a cushion. That's when you have a popularity, you have a strong fan base where people actually come into your shows to hear you. They like Rome. They like Dink, Ghettorauchi. Like they like our style of comedy. So they're actually coming to hear our material. So we might get the benefit of a doubt and get a laugh, even if the joke ain't funny. You see what I'm saying? So if you pack out a place, they come to see Rome, you may say something they might not think is funny, but they they laugh anyway. Or some people gonna laugh anyway because you're their favorite. So it's the one thing you can have as a comedian that you can put in your back pocket is that when you have a strong fan base, or you got people to come in and actually see you, you winning. You got that on your side versus nobody knows who you are, and you don't get the benefit of a laugh. But that's why I tell comics all the time to just start and practice as much as you can in front of people. I don't care if it's one person or 1,000. The more you practice this craft, the more you write, the more you tell jokes, the better you're gonna get. It's just like anything else. The more you practice it, the better you're gonna get. What you put into it is what you get out of it. So the more you get in front of people and you telling these jokes and you see this don't work and that don't work and this work and that don't work, you start gaining experience and you say, okay, I know what to do now when I go into this room and you got a heckler or you have it's predominantly black or it's a mixed room or it's older, this and that. You start recognizing, oh, I know what to say to this crowd right here. I got 10, 15 minutes. Oh, no problem. I'm going to start with this right here and lead into this. And it start working for you because now you're gaining experience. Okay, I might do some crowd work. Oh, I seen somebody right here. He looked like such and such. I might jump on that. And before you know it, you done told 5 minutes of jokes off the cuff, doing some, crowd work, and you ain't even got to your main stuff. So the more you do it, the more you find out how this game works. That's why I tell comics, the best thing you can do is just hit the thing. Continue to write, continue to practice, and continuously practice, and you'll get better with it. And I always use sports as an example. I was an athlete in high school, played all the sports, and I said just like playing basketball. You want to get a mean crossover, you got to practice. You want to get that jumper down, you got to take them jumpers. You want to learn how to dunk, you got to go out there and practice. You got to practice. That's it. It's no shortcut to it. Especially when you are a comedian. We're public speakers who tell jokes. That's it.
Correct.
That's it. That's all we are. And the more you tell jokes in front of people, the better you're gonna become. So that's the ultimate way you win. You get better with stand up, and you avoid the pitfalls of a bombing. It's gonna happen, but who gives? Who cares? Shit. Bombing you ain't gonna die. It ain't real bombing. Hell, you just didn't do good that day. Shit.
Yeah, man. Out here, I go to a safe space. It's called the Performance Playground. I go every Thursday.
Okay.
When I started, I went to comedy school at the Funny Bone here, $250,
Okay.
6 weeks. But then I went to the Performance Playground. It's $5 every Thursday, so I get the bomb there. But when I go out there, I kill so much. And for comedians, like you was giving advice about that, one of the methods I use for any type of crowd reaction or interaction or anything like that, I not pause. I put the TV on mute when I watch a stand-up special. It could be the same stand-up special. And if you notice how these comedians move, like Damon Wayans, Carlos Miller, some more, how they move around and they scope and you see what they saying and seeing it, like D.L. Hughley's crowd work is amazing. TK Kirkland, I'm watching the hell out of it, but I'm watching it on mute. And it's weird, but if you see how they hold the mic, who they looking at, you know they're gonna say something off the rip. So it's just a little method I do. But when it comes to jokes, I go to the safe space. Sometimes I got a voice recorder I walk around the house with. I start reciting my jokes just like that. But you got to read that room. That room is the most important thing because you think you got like a bomb 10-minute set, but it didn't really connect with your room. So if you ain't paying attention to that room that's in there, you gonna float. You ain't gonna sink or swim. You gonna float across, but it's not gonna be what you want it to be. That's just how I feel.
I'm glad, man. You said two things that's very important, man. The first thing you said, you walk around with a recorder. That's great. I do that too. I actually record my jokes on audio, and then I say it, like I read it out loud, right? And then I put my paper down, and then I record myself like I'm actually on stage, and go back and listen to it, and say, okay, I missed this joke, or I can say this better, and I do that in practice. That's one thing. Number two, second thing you said, man, that makes a lot of sense about, you watching people and how they, the famous comedians, you mute the television and you watch their movements. That's a good thing. And number three, reading the room is very important. And this is something else I learned, is whenever you got a show, depending on how many jokes you have, you should always have an extra set of jokes you may have to use, because the room might not be, the room might, the people's in the room, your jokes might not coincide with those people. So it's good to have another batch of jokes, but it's very important to read the room. Because like I said before, you can go in there and you can say, oh man, this crowd's a little older. Are they really gonna understand if I start talking about this urban stuff right here? You know? Maybe not, but they are black and they're white. Okay, so I'm gonna go this direction. I'm gonna talk about some universal stuff that black and white people do. I'm also talk about some older stuff because they're a little older. So I'm gonna do that. And in order to do that, Rome, you have to have that type of material. The only way you're gonna get that type of material is constantly writing and going to these open mics. Because, excuse me, let's just say you just got a good solid 10 minutes. That's all you have. Well, that's all you have. Can you take that anywhere? Probably not. Someone get you for a show, like you said, you get in there, those jokes are not going to coincide with the people in that room. Then what you going to do? And that's how you start bombing. But this is why I always tell comics, once you got some jokes down and you know they work, go to the next one. Don't fall in love with your 5-minute set, your 10-minute set. Keep writing. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with, you got a good 5 minutes, you want to continue to work on a couple more times, go a couple more months, that's fine. But once you know it works, you need to be still writing new material. You gotta do that. Whether you collaborate with somebody, you got somebody writing for you, you gotta do that. If you don't, you pigeonholing yourself, you're holding yourself back. That's why I say the more you write, the more you practice, the better you're gonna be. So that way, when you have a show and you read the room and you say, oh man, some of these jokes not gonna work on this crowd. Let me dig in my bag and pull up these jokes. Let me clean up. Let me pull up these clean set of jokes I have, or whatever. Let me bring up some jokes about my mama, because there's some women in there that's my mama age, and I can talk about how she used to whoop me. And see, then when you do that, you smooth selling. That's why some of the great ones don't bomb that as much, because they got so much material. I write all the time because I see having a lot of jokes is like having currency in the bank, having money in your savings account. I've been doing this 8 years now, and I literally have jokes, man, I've never used on stage. Ever. Because I've written so much, I just think I didn't get to it. There are some jokes I used on stage one time, I've never used again. So what I learned to do was just go back and go over these jokes. Say, hey, I gotta practice this. I gotta see if it works. I know it works. That's some more jokes for me. So it's like people don't know I do clean comedy too. I've done churches and everything. Everybody's, think Andy can do clean. I said, yeah, I can do clean. So my first 6-7 shows when I got into the game were clean shows. I choose to curse and talk about other stuff, but I said I can do clean, and I have clean comedy. How I got clean comedy? I got clean jokes. Everything ain't MF this, F. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't it's not raw and got curse words in it. But that comes from writing, because you want to have some clean comedy. Someone call you up and say, hey man, we want you to do 10 minutes on television show, whatever. You want to be able to do that. So I tell all comics the best thing you can do is write. But the cheat code is, and it's not really a cheat code, because they do this in stand-up all the time. Have someone write jokes for you. That's standard in comedy. They all do it. Don't let them tell you differently. I don't care how famous they may be. A lot of them use writers, and that's what you're supposed to do. There's nothing wrong with that. Jimmy Kimmel has people to write for him every night. Jimmy Walker, that played on Good Times. Jay Leno and David Letterman used to write for him. You can look it up. They used to write for him. Richard Pryor used to collaborate with the late Paul Mooney. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with having a writer that can write jokes for you. That is standard operation in stand-up comedy. The greats do it all the time. They do it. Don't let all these great comics think you, fool you and have you thinking that they don't use writers. I know for a fact that Tracy Morgan paid this comedian I know who's hilariously funny, paid him for a joke. I know that. The Tracy Morgan ain't gonna. He said about write for him, but I know better. I'm not saying about write for him all the time. I'm just giving you an example of how I know a comedian that gave a joke to Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan paid. It happens all the time. Yes, these famous comedians have no problems saying, "Hey, Rome, I give you $1,000, $1,500 for this, for these 5 minutes of jokes." It happens all the time. So I'm saying that to say is that collaborate with other writers. Write. People come up to me all the time want to write for me. All the time. And I use them. I write my own jokes too, but I also got writers too. So I'm not above saying that. That's part of the industry. That's part of the game. And to me, it's why wouldn't I take it? You know? Sometimes it's not funny, but I'm like, hey, I can make it funny. You know? So that's just more material. Go to the mics and work on it, and that's more money in the bank.
That's it. How did this comedy special come about? Because you're on Amazon Prime with it, right? How did that come to fruition with?
The guy who produced it, Ty Banks. Ty Banks had recorded this guy named Mike Miller. You know Mike Miller here in Raleigh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No other.
No, yeah, Mike Miller. Yeah, we call him Mike Miller. Well, I was on Mike Miller's first. I wasn't on his special, but they filmed it at Good Nights, and I was part of the show. And I did like 5-6 minutes, something like that. So after the show, Ty came up to me and said, "Hey, man, think you want to, when you want to record your special?" I said, I had thought about it. He said, "I know you got the material. You funny." He said, "Just set a date." That was in November. Matter of fact, I can tell you the exact date that was. Mike Miller recorded his comedy special the day before Thanksgiving in November 2017. So that nighttime, I had that discussion, and I told Ty, I said, "I get back with you and give you a date." So I got back with Ty, and I did mine on February 24th, 2018. But how it happened, Ty came out to me and said, "Man, just go ahead and do your special." I put it on Amazon Prime. And I did 30-something minutes. I actually could have did an hour, but that was my first time doing it. So I just did. He said, "You do at least 30. I did 30, about 33 minutes. And that's how I came to fruition. Ty Banks reached out to me. We was already doing stuff together anyway, because I'm the host of the Liquor House Comedy Show. But he came up to me and said, "Hey, man, let's go ahead and shoot your special. I seen you in action. You're funny. I know you got the material." I said, "Yeah, let's do it." That's how it happened.
I'm glad you said the 30 minutes thing. Because most of the specials I watch are on Max, and I see a lot of them now going pivot towards that shorter time frame. Well, back then you would get an hour special. If you got like a Dane Cook pay-per-view special, you would get like 2-3 hours. But you see that 30-minute thing going, and then you see now the shorts and the reels and are going more viral than the actual 2-3 minute skit. So yeah, that you were actually ahead of the market with that one. So
yeah. Well, honestly, man, people got short attention span. Like I said before, when you're a comedian, just look at us as public speakers that's telling jokes. And also, you probably can relate to this when it comes to pastors. A lot of pastors would tell you that they used to have these long sermons in church, black churches specifically. But they started noticing people, they would start losing the audience. So their church members in the speech. The longer it was, people just would zone out. So what happened is, I think with the stand-up, as humans, we don't want long no more. We want short. We want something that's quick. So 30 minutes is fine. Because whether I'm preaching, I'm giving some information, or I'm telling jokes, I have to be interested. How can I be interested for an hour? How can I be interested for 45 minutes? How can I be interested for 30? Why not shoot for 30? And I think what's happening with the human development, everybody attention span is no longer like it used to be. We want quick. That's why when you do reels, Facebook would tell you to keep it. They want you to keep it under 60 seconds for a reason, because research has shown that's how long people attention span is, and 60 seconds is the max. I've even read where it's if you can do 30 seconds reels, that's even better, because that way they can put advertising on and everything. Because people don't, our attention spans are getting less and less now. So I'm fine with 30 minutes watching somebody versus an hour. Now, would I love to see an hour with Dave Chappelle and them? Absolutely, because I've seen it. But I'd be content with 30 minutes, to be honest with you. I'd be content with 20 minutes. You know? And I think that's where we're, as humans, I think that's where we're going, because our attention spans are short. Like if you put any reels or videos on Facebook, you go to the analytics part, it'll show you the retention span of the people that watch it. 17 seconds they watch, 25 seconds. How many watch it for this amount of seconds? And if you watch it, you'll see, let's say it's a 60-second video. You'll see how it tails off when so many people watch the full video. Unless it's something really, really funny. But you'll see how it tails off. Yeah. Because people just, our attention spans are just, I don't know what it is. It's just, people don't want to sit there all day now, you know?
No.
Yeah. So if you think about it, sometimes less is more. I mean, there's some specials, man. I love these comics, and they kill it for an hour. But I would probably be fine if it was 30 minutes. I ain't gonna sit there and lie.
Yeah.
I think it's just like church, man. The best sermons have always been, you can have a long sermon and kill it, but you can still just be as impactful if it's 35 minutes or 40 minutes.
Yeah. I see you do a lot of promoting about Tubi too.
Yeah, I do. That's because I'm on Tubi.
That's our Netflix. I'm not gonna lie. And for people out there, I make jokes about Tubi, but if you really look at it, it's a blessing, right? Because you got more black creators going towards the
Right.
Tubi. You got more black comedians specials going to Tubi, like TK Kirkland, Tony Baker, Bone Hampton. You see a lot of us going towards the Tubi, and one of the best things that's ever happened to Tubi is when HBO did not want to pay union workers, so they sold half their catalog to Tubi. So stuff like Lovecraft Country, the new Space Jam, they went over to Tubi.
Right.
So it actually brought in a different audience of it. So how has Tubi been for you? Because you have two apps that I've seen cater towards. There's Tubi, and some people don't know about this one, Crackle.
Yeah, Crackle. Yeah, I know
Crackle.
about Crackle. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How has Tubi been? Because it's been a movement since the pandemic, or probably before the pandemic, the lockdown.
I'm glad you brought up Tubi, because the guy Ty Banks who puts all his stuff on Tubi had been talking about Tubi for years before it got popular with black people. So when he would tell these comedians about recording Liquor House comedy and putting it on Tubi TV, a lot of black people would say, "Oh, it ain't on Netflix," blah 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 blah. Well, lo and behold, just like I knew what happened, Tubi was going to blow up. Tubi was already popular before the pandemic. But once the pandemic hit, everybody was home. And everybody liked free. Tubi TV is free. Once that happened, black people caught on to it. And once black people caught on to it, Tubi became even bigger in black people's minds, even though Tubi was already a big deal. So by Ty putting all this stuff on there, and now he has the eyeballs of the black people, it's really helped a lot of us who's already on Tubi, like myself, because I'm the host of the Liquor House comedy show. A lot of people see me on that. I'm in two of the best movies on Tubi TV, two crime urban dramas, Messy and Hit a Lick 2. I'm the main character, Hit a Lick 2, and it's done wonders for my career, and it's opened up other doors, because I'm getting offered a lot of different things, because so many people see me on Tubi now, whether I'm doing stand-up comedy or they see me playing a serious role as a gangster in Hit a Lick 2. So it's really helped me out a lot, because now black people, our people, they see, oh man, Tubi's the real deal now. And you know how black people are. Once they deem something to be worthy in their eyes, then it's a real deal. Even though Tubi had always been the real deal, but it has really helped me out tremendously in stand up and in the acting world because I'm getting offered a lot of different things. I'm getting stopped in the streets. People, hey man, aren't you this guy? You know, wear the robe on the stage. Aren't you the guy that played in this movie? Blah blah blah. I'm getting producers to hit me up, want me to be in movies and stuff. So it's been a blessing, and I'm glad. I'm happy for it because you know, I'm working with a great guy in Ty Banks who we just finished another movie, about to start another movie. All this gonna be on Tubi, and it's really helping me build my brand as a comedian, as an actor, and I absolutely love it. I love it too, man, because there's a lot of us just on there, just producing and putting these movies out here. And the one thing I don't like is when I hear black people say, "Oh man, this must be some type of 2B movie," as if 2B is a black-owned network. But even if it is, why would you want to down a network that's putting black people on there and giving these black people the visibility that they need? And I think that's some of the most ignorant shit ever is to downplay something where you see a lot of people of color that look like you that's on there. Is every movie on 2B outstanding from, you know, no, but it's a platform where you can watch people that look like yourself on there. And just act like every single solitary movie on 2B is awful, is pathetic. It's almost like saying if it's black, it's not good. And that's the one negative I hate when I see people on social media like to make negative comments about 2B because they trying to associate it with, oh, if it's on 2B, it's a black movie and it's probably not that good. And that pisses me off because there are a lot of black movies on 2B that are, the acting is good, the technical part is good, the plots are good, everything about it is good. So when I hear black people say that, man, I take offense to it because you're putting down your own race of people when you shouldn't be doing that anyway. You know, you can find in white movies that got bad acting, bad technical
Facts.
stuff. Okay, so it's not just a racial thing. You can pick any movie, I don't care who makes it, based off their color, and you can find something negative about it. But I hate when I hear black people say that, oh man, this must be a 2B movie. That ain't, and I hate that. I don't know if black people recognize that some of us are just programmed to hate anything that black people do. But aside from that negative stuff, I absolutely love being on 2B, man. It's the best thing ever. It's a blessing. And to be a part, to know a guy who I grew up with that has helped my comedy and acting career is nothing but a blessing from God. And I pray, I thank God every day that I'm in this position. I'm humbled by it. I don't take it for granted. And I'm just happy to be in the space that I'm in right now, you know, as an actor slash comedian. You know, and then also to be on a platform like this to talk about it more, who's also another black man, to help, you know, raise exposure for whatever you're doing too.
Yeah, man. I see. Let me just jump onto Tubi. They have Tubi originals,
Yes,
and I'm talking about shows and movies. They have
yes,
live television. They had I watched this movie Cinnamon with one of my favorite comedians in there, Damon Wayans. It was a great movie, and I'm like,
yes,
what? This is a Tubi original, and it's because you
yes,
know how social media works. A lie will spread further than the truth.
yes,
I say if you would just sit there and just watch this stuff, like you're up there. Murder Pain is up there. I forgot his name, but he played Biggie Smalls in the Notorious movie. He's
yeah,
killing it. Man Robinson.
yeah,
Um is like that. You do get some movies and some shows, you're like, all right, this is
yeah.
it. But
But
you
that's
also
any
got
network.
some
Yeah,
that's in there, but you also get uh white movies and shows. It's like, man, all right, that shit shouldn't even be out neither. You know what I mean?
right,
Like
right,
we but
right.
Tubi, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to put no other network down. Tubi, in my opinion, has surpassed the Netflix because
Thank you, thank you. I've been saying this. I have been saying this, and people think I'm crazy. I'm like, no. Go back to what I said earlier. Tubi had been out for a long time, for a while. When Ty Banks was telling people about Tubi and how great it was, and all the exposure you can get, a lot of comedians didn't understand it. They didn't get it because, once again, black people thought Netflix was the big deal because they saw that as a lot of value. You know what I'm saying? So I had to educate these people and say, listen, they were running Tubi ads on TNT network, all these other major networks, sports shows and everything. So I'm like, how is it a Rudy Poo, network? And I've always knew this was gonna happen because it's free. People love free. And that's why you got all these shows on there, because Tubi is a big deal. That's why they bought half the catalog from HBO. And as long as it's free, people gonna watch it. And that's why I'm glad you said that. That's why I'm so glad that you brought that up. Tubi is just as big as Netflix. People just don't understand that.
They don't. They don't. Netflix
Just as big.
algorithm is horrible in some aspects. I don't have Netflix. I ain't had Netflix in over a year because I was finding out that I couldn't find nothing, but I'm paying $9.99 at the time, and then you can't share the password and stuff like that. Let me tell you how much Tubi means to me. I ain't gotta put my login in, my password in. I ain't gotta put no complicated password with 13 special characters in there. And I got stuck in some rabbit holes in there. But it reminds me, and I'm older. I'm a little older than what people think. It reminds me back then when Stars had those like different networks, but it was Stars Black.
Yeah,
when they used to have Stars Black. That's what Tubi reminds me of. And that's when they had like Malibu, Fat Beats used to come up there. You would see all these different people. And you're like, man, what the hell going on? And that's what it was. That's really what it was. It's opened up so many doors. I've seen so many stand-up specials in my eyes that have been better than the ones that's on the bigger networks. And these are from other comedians. Like I knew Tubi was definitely pivoting somewhere when I saw that the LOL network by Kevin Hart come up there. When he put LOL network up, that's Kevin must see something that we ain't tapped into.
Yeah, well, it's free, and if it's free, everybody likes free. So more people gonna tune into it. So Kevin was like, "Hey, that makes sense. Let me put it on there because I know it's free, and more people gonna come to it because it's free versus they gotta pay for it." It was very business wise on his part.
Business wise, man. I appreciate you doing this interview. Actually, a guy that I interviewed, Dante Williams. He's out of your neck of the woods. He told me about you. And it was like a Saturday we did a show together, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna check him out." And I checked you out, and I didn't know how to approach you.
Why not, man?
I mean, I was like, man, I'm gonna see what he out. So when I sent the clip, I was like, let's see if he notices. And you started commenting back and forth. We did the jokes, and I was like, I started digging more into your resume. I was like, all right, bet. Let's see if I can get him on the show. So, hey man, I appreciate you coming up here. And before
I appreciate you having me, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity, man. Anything I can do to help, I'm down for it. I appreciate the opportunity.
Say less,
humble
man.
By it. Very humble by it. Yes.
When I need to make my way down there. I actually will be there in October. October doing some stuff. If anybody wants to reach out to you, see your content online, where could they follow you at?
Okay, on Facebook, I have 2 pages on Facebook. I'm gonna start with my Ghettorauchi page. You put in Ghettorauchi, Ghettorachi. That's my comedy page. Then my main Facebook page is Donnell Kearney, in parentheses, Dink Ghettorauchi. They can find me there. Instagram, Ghettorauchi. TikTok, Ghettorauchi. YouTube, that's my government name, Donnell Kearney, Ghettorauchi. You put it in there, it'll come up. That's how they can find me on social media. I'm also an author. Anybody want, like to read, I got a book out there, a very inspirational book called The Sparrow Will Fly. Put in Dink Kearney, Dink Kearney, and the name of the book is The Sparrow Will Fly. Very inspirational book, doing really good. I'm also an entrepreneur. I have my own shoe design. It's called The G. Yes, it's called The G. Quotes The G. If you go to aliveshoes.com and you type in The G, my shoe will come up. I've actually designed 3 pair, but 1 pair is the one that I'm actually selling. I'm doing pretty good with that. And you also can find my my website, dinkkearneycomedy.com. And on that page, you'll see all the things I've done. You also can order a robe. I wear a robe on stage. You also can order a shirt. I got a shirt called Make America Ghetto Rache Again. MAGA. Yeah, that's right. Make America Ghetto Rache Again. The white people love it. They've even told me, they say that's the only MAGA shirt they'll wear. So feel free to go to my website, order you a robe. The robe may take you a couple weeks to get because they are professionally made by my personal designer. The same thing with Make America Ghetto Rache shirts too. I got the shirts on hand, so you hit me up. You click on the link, order the shirt. I got you. That'll be sent to you in no time. So that's how you can find me, people. And also, continue to watch Hit a Lick 2 on Messi. We're about to start shooting Hit a Lick 3 soon. That's an urban crime drama. I am not funny in that movie at all. I am a straight fool gangster. So check that out. Check out Messi. And before we go, definitely check out my comedy special, Ghetto Rache, on Amazon Prime. I appreciate the support. It's actually one of the best comedy special in terms of the ratings on Amazon Prime. So I want to thank all my fans and people out there who've been supporting. I'm very humbled by that, And I always tell people, the more stars I get, the better. So 5 stars, treat me like I'm a high school All-American. Give me that 5 stars, baby. Even if you don't like the comedy special, just give it to me. That 5 stars, baby. Yeah. Even if I don't make you laugh, just give it to me. Treat me like you treat the famous people, all right? Yeah. So that's pretty much how you can find me, man. Hell, if you just Google Dink Kearney, everything will probably come up anyway.
Yeah, I heard that, right? Google, this man has several businesses and streams of income. Support him. Watch the special. Check him out online. Click the links in the bio. I promise you would not be disappointed. I thought he was gonna have the robe and the hat on today for the interview.
Hey, you know what? I wasn't even thinking. I should have put it on, man. I should have put my robe on, man. Because normally I have my robe on when I do these interviews. I do, because I actually walk around in my robe. I love robes. Yeah.
Hey, you guys, man, check me out, Comedian Rome. That's on Instagram, Twitter, and Rome Davis on Facebook. No ID is the podcast that's streaming on all networks, all services, streaming services. No ID Media TV, that is the platform where it has my comedy and these interviews as well too. So not only will you get jewels, you also get laughs, you'll get stories. May get a couple of skits. I think I put a video of me singing to a cougar from the other night. Oh my joint.
That's what's up, man.
But like, support black content, black creatives in general. Go check out his book. Check out the shoes. Check out the comedy. Check out the comedy special. Check out the skits. Check out everything that this man is doing. And I'm telling you right now, because who knows, in the next 2-3 years, this was already a house thing. This is going to be a billboard name, ladies and gentlemen. So check out Ghettorauchi, man. Like, check this man out. I promise you would not be disappointed. The only thing I'm mad about is I ain't see the robe and cowboy hat today. But you know what? We're going to probably get him back on for another episode.
Yeah, man. I got you. I definitely got you, man. Yeah, I got you. Matter of fact, I got to get me a new cowboy hat, man. I got to get one more stylish to go with my new robe. The one you see, the blue and yellow. We got the blue robe. We got the yellow belt. That's my signature robe right there. Yeah. So I gotta get another cowboy hat that's more professional to go with. I gotta look good when I put it on. Gotta look good.
We're going to go ahead and sign off, man. This is Ron Davis. This is Ghettorauchi on No ID Media TV, No ID Podcast. This is just like his comedy, unfiltered, raw, unedited. This is 100% this man right here. So check us out. I appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me, man. God bless you, man. Anything I can do to help you, I will, and much continued success. All right.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.